Because of the current COVID pandemic and a few other ones that happened before it, like Ebola and influenza, the term virus has received a lot of bad press in the past few years. In fact, if you were to ask random people about their opinion about this term, the answers would probably be dominated by words like suffering, disease, infection, pandemic, deaths, etc. It almost makes it sound like viruses are some sort of weaponry designed for the only purpose of wiping out the human species. But that's not entirely true. In fact, in virology, which is the study of viruses and viral diseases, using the term good to describe viruses is pretty common. And there are many cases where they can serve as protection, cures, or even work in a symbiotic relationship with their hosts. Let's take cancer for example. It's one of the leading causes of death in the entire world. According to the World Health Organization, nearly 10 million people died in 2020 because of various types of cancers. We do have treatments for those diseases, including surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation therapy. But even though these methods have significantly increased survival rates, they can sometimes be harmful because they also target non-cancerous cells. They can also lead to side effects like a low blood cell count, physical pain, and hair loss. However, there's another method being developed, and it's called virotherapy. And you've guessed it, it involves viruses. This process is quite complicated, but generally speaking, it involves modifying or reprogramming viruses into therapeutic agents that are then used to target only cancer cells so that other cells don't get affected. This method can also reduce the chances of recurrence and side effects. Now, another example of viruses being good is their capacity to help some plants resist to droughts. Researchers have noticed that certain plants like broccoli and cauliflower had better drought resistance when they were infected by the turnip mosaic virus, which is a pathogen that affects cruciferous vegetables. During the experiment, they infected plants with variants of the virus, and they noticed that it was actually modifying the plant's circadian clock and influencing their water use to last longer. So it's true that most of the time when we hear of a virus, it's probably not for good reasons. They cause millions of deaths every year. But viruses have also the potential to cure cancer, fight viral infection, and even save plants from drought. So we have to also consider their good properties. So thanks for watching the video. If you appreciate it and want to support the channel, you can subscribe.